Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com and brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. Boycott the NFL. Just do it. That's today's show. I know Super Bowl was on the 8th, and I'm just getting to talking about the Super Bowl now. And I do apologize, guys. I've been real busy working on different projects, working on projects for the military, working on projects for for Traveling Tech Teacher, and then for the bullyexposed.com. So I've been really busy. So I apologize. And this show should have been out sooner. And I do apologize for that, guys. And I hope that you're still following us. Smash that heart. RA144BPM, thank you for joining the show. You always remember to comment if you got something you want me to talk about. Sophie, thank you for joining the show. Comment in any of the inspirational posts. We'll get it, and then we'll start to derive a show about it. So, boycott the NFL, just do it. Let's talk about that. So, this past week, as you guys know, on February 8th was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was the lowest Super Bowl since Super Bowl number 3. So that's about like 1967. This was the lowest in views and in relationship to views. So in other words, nobody, thank you for smashing that heart, Sophie, whether you're watching this on the live version or the recorded version, please remember to smash that heart. So basically, no one's watching the Super Bowl, or not that many people are watching the Super Bowl as in the past. And there's a show in New York that I like to listen to on the radio. And thank God, let me tell you guys, thank God to this modern technology we have, right? I'm able to listen live to radio stations all the way in New York. It keeps me close to home, and I love it. So if you want to know, that's the radio.com app. Thank you guys for creating that app. Radio.com app. Okay, so I'm listening to my favorite guy, Evan Roberts, on the radio. I've been watching for, I don't know, probably like 20 years. I've been listening for 20 years. And they posted on there and they talked about how it was the lowest Super Bowl since the Super Bowl 3. And they wanted to ask people, if you did not watch, why? So, of course, I chimed in. I hit Twitter, where I follow Evan Roberts, and I let him know that for me, well, it wasn't even that I said for me. I honestly thought, I think that the lowest, it had the lowest viewership because of what they did to Colin Kaepernick. If you don't know, Colin Kaepernick was a football player for the 49ers, a quarterback, and he kneeled during the national anthem. And they basically, the NFL basically blacklisted him. He could not get any jobs. And it's really a shame because when that happened, they said he wasn't a good player, but he is a good player. Okay, he got you to a Super Bowl, and that's a lot more than a lot of other people can say. And but they just used that as an excuse. Well, he's really not that great. They used it as an excuse to say that that is the reason why they didn't give him a job. When in actuality, the reason why they didn't give him the job is because they blacklisted him. So now he's no longer playing in the NFL. I believe he sued and won. If you know that for a fact, let me know. Write it in the comments. But I believe that he sued and he won for, I think, breach of contract is what he sued, and he won. But the thing that gets me about this story, guys, is that there was a police officer who called in. I can't call in. I don't have time to wait for that. So I don't call in. I just Twitter my thoughts in. But he called in and he said that a bunch of his friends who are all police officers, and we could assume, we're only assuming here that these are New York police officers, being that it is a New York radio station. But like I said, because of the app, they get what is it? They get calls from all over, all over because of the app. So I'm not saying he's New York City cops. I got family and friends that are New York City cops, and I'm not saying that all cops are this way. So save your DM because I don't want to hear it. So he says, so let me tell you what he says. He says that he and his friends, and he said there were 20 police officers, did not watch the Super Bowl because the NFL is anti-patriotic and anti-police officer, or anti-police, anti-cop, anti-police. I can't remember the exact his exact verbiage or what he exactly said, but basically that that NFL is so pro Bunto. Thank you for joining the show. That they're so anti-police and anti-patriotic that they don't want to follow him. Well, first of all, I don't know, I understand where he gets that from, but there's people like this all the time. A certain situation happens. Some people are upset for the right reasons. Some people are upset because they just want to be upset. That's the way I look at it. And this guy is one of them. And I hope someone's able to give him this video. If I knew who the cop was, I would search him and give it to him. Because how can you say that this is what they are? When it occurred, thank you guys for joining the show. Thomas, thank you for joining the show. When this all occurred, the first thing that the NFL did was kind of banned that type of protest, kneeling, I believe, if my memory serves me right. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, let me know. I'm going all by memory here. And then they blacklisted him, not exactly one day later, but I don't know how long it was. But then they blacklisted him and he couldn't get a job. And you know what? I think that the NFL realized that most of our viewers are black. Most of our players are black. And I think we should keep them happy. And that's a shame that the NFL, and this is why I no longer watch NFL, that the NFL did that. Because they should respect the African American man, not because they might be 50% more, that they might be 50, that the viewership might be 50% white, 50% black. That's not the reason why they should do it. They should not do it because, and I don't know what the percentages are, I'm just taking guesses, that maybe 6% of NFL players are black rather than white or any other race. And that's not the reason why they should do it. They should do it because it's the right thing to do. This country, for years, is basically built around racism, right? Slavery. And they're not growing up. They're not growing up. And I'm not going to pick solely on America. I hear from my friends that live in the UK that this was racism in the UK. I've seen films. I've seen films that talk about it. I've seen Instagram videos where celebrities who are of color that live in the UK, born in the UK, are still experiencing racism. So America's not the only one that's growing up, but because America claims to be so free, they definitely need to be the one that shows the world the proper way to act. So, once again, I am very tired of people every time something goes down like this. They just have either excuses as to why it occurs, you know, I've heard people try to make excuses for why that cop had his neck unfloyd. And there's never an excuse. It's like a chief of police out of Miami, I believe, is where he was from. I can't remember the gentleman's name, and I'm so sorry, but he put it well. He put it well. It doesn't matter what the guy did. You're in the now. You're in the now. You handcuff him and you put him away. And a lot of cops make excuses too. This is a hard job. You could never do it. Um, and that may be true or may not be true. But I know that you can never abuse your power. As a police officer, you're supposed to be acting, or you're looked up higher than most people, and you're not supposed to take advantage of that. And I just feel that some cops take advantage of it, and these cops definitely. But it was very interesting to know. I honestly thought, and I've learned that day, that I thought that people who are protesting because of the Colin Kaepernick deal, and and I learned that it's not all that, but they're not right. That doesn't give their platform for boycotting the NFL that it's correct, because it's not correct. The NFL is definitely not anti-cop and anti-patriotic, which is what the guy said. It's just, they're realizing because money, they're losing money, and that's not the reason to do it, but they're realizing that they need to be a little more fair with the African American man. And before I end this episode, I do want to say one thing. A lot of people think that Colin Kaepernick protested at the wrong time. And there has been many people who have made protests or made speeches as to how they feel about racism or inequality in America. And for some people, it's been the wrong times. The Emmys, the Oscars, so on and so forth, games, so on and so forth. There's one thing that people do need to understand. That, first of all, when someone says, I'm not happy, whether it be a relationship between a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, or it be a group of people saying that we're unhappy, we don't like how we feel, the first thing you should not say is deal with it. That's number one. And basically that's what America said to me, that's what they said when they said this is the wrong time to protest. You don't protest during a game. Protests are not supposed to be comfortable for the oppressor, guys. If you're not an oppressor, if you're not racist, and you were inconvenienced for a few minutes while a guy kneeled down during the anthem, then you should go out there and do something, because you're just as guilty of it as the guy who's in the Proud Boys, or the guy who's in the KKK. You're just as guilty as that if you just sit back and let it happen. But remember, the main thing you got to take from this, if you are an oppressor or if you are a racist, is that you're never going to find a convenient time for someone to protest, because you don't want them to protest. And that's what it comes down to. So I want to thank you for watching Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher. For all your digital resources, check out travelingtechteacher.com, and brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. Bye now. Remember, oh, I almost forgot. Anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another and have a great day. Bye now.